You can't cheap out, you can half-ass it. It's not how it's done, and then complain because your mixes don't sound you want. Hello everyone, welcome back to McSolaar TV. Hope you're having a great day. I brought back the rapid fire Q&A. So in this series of videos, I'm gonna answer your questions. Before we start, please check the info box down below for my mixing courses on ProMix Academy, free plugin special discounts and offers, and if you want to support the channel. But most important, if you really want to learn how to mix and master professionally, click the join button down here, become a MixBuzz TV member and access the already big and always growing library of in-depth mix and mastering courses, videos and tutorials. Full mixes breakdowns from start to finish. Mastering courses with all the settings for my analog gear and plugins, special videos and a lot more. You also get mix consultations with me via Skype or email. Next question, Balanced Studio. Hello David, how do you mix and master only inside the box? Well, you mix inside the box just like you mix outside the box, using your skills, your talent, and your ears. The problem is this question would reopen the Pandora box that I closed with one video about analog versus digital, okay, a long time ago. Now you see what I mean. I get these questions every day, so many times. What do I use to emulate your analog chain? How do I use to emulate that analog vibe on vocals? And the problem is this, that many people, as they advance as mix engineer, they realize that, guess what, in the box it's not the same as outside the box, and take this however you want. But again, just for the monitors with the low end, there is a reason, because professional mixing engineers use analog. So probably the question is slightly different. It would be more like, how do I make my in-the-box mixes sound like the ones done on analog? And the answer to that is, it's not really possible, because analog is best at what analog does and plugins are best at what plugins do. The people who mixes successfully in the box, just like we said for the headphones, they probably have extended experience with professional gear, analog studios, and they know how a track is supposed to sound. So if you give it the skills and enough time, because for people like me, mixing in the box, it takes a lot longer to get the result, you can get a professionally sounding mix. Will that sound the same as the one done in analog? No, it will be different. Some people might like the other one better and some people will like the analog better. This is art, okay? It's like a song. Many people like a song, and there's some people that don't like it. This is art. It's not really black or white, but despite the few very vocal people that say you don't need hardware, you don't need analog, it's all bullshit, blah, 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 blah. You see that there's a ton of people out there that they don't understand why their in-the-box mix don't sound, like the commercial products, or they feel like it's missing something. Because I know there's another question here, which we'll get to later, that says, hey, Spotify and YouTube and all the charts are full of shit sounding mixes. How's that? And we'll get to that question. And I was so happy to read that question, because see, there's people out there that realizes that not just because a song is in a chart, it means that it's a great mix. There's a lot of shit mix on charts for a bunch of reasons that we'll cover in that question when it comes up. But realistically, how do you mix in the box? Simply, you get to know your tools and you get to know the limitation of your tools, which is your plugin, and realize that first of all, probably it's not the lack of gear the main reason as to why your mixes doesn't sound the way you want. 90% is your experience, the lack of the skills that you learn and develop with time and experience, again, doing mixes, and references, of course. So it will take time for you to understand how to use the tools that you have, and most likely at some point you will hear the limit of those tools and you will need something else. Unfortunately, I understand, because it's frustrating, because analog gear is expensive, but that's why people hire professional mixing engineers, because even if you buy analog gear, you need to know how to use it. There's no magic piece that you put on your mix and it magically sounds like $1,000,000. You need to know how to use it. And again, when you hear a mix, when you hear a product and you see the chain that was used to mix that product, first of all, is always the skills of the engineer. And second is always the entire chain that literally goes from your very first stage, the capture, to all your converters and outboard and monitoring system and room and all that. So you can build your studio over time, of course, and in the meantime, you can work and get good sounding mixes. But I think the point that I would like for people to take home from this is you can't cheap out on mixing, as in skills and gear if you need it, or even plugin if you need them. You can't cheap out, you can half-ass it. It's not how it's done, and then complain because your mixes don't sound, you know, like you want or like the other mixes sound. And maybe people should stop listening to the marketing bullshit and listen more to people who do this for a living. They probably would at least save time, because by the time that you try all the things that they promise you, oh, this will make your mixes to the next level, and then figure out that they don't, you know, you have lost a lot of time. And also focus, what are you going to be, what you want to be. You want to be an artist or a mix engineer or a professional mix engineer? Can you be both? Yes, but it will take a long time. And most people don't have the skills to do both. Some do, but if you look at the numbers, for the most part, artists send their stuff to mix engineers. All right? So I hope this answered the question.